It's too trying. It would be better to be a Mason. Oh, Priago. It just would. It would be better to be a Mason or an electrician or some other thing, in my opinion. What's up, America? We have a great deal of news to talk about. Some of the stuff you're going to like, some of the stuff that you're not going to like. Looks like we got some big news going on with the world. We have some commentary to talk about, blah, 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 blah. Same old type of thing. I really want to get deep down and involved and really put gusto into it. But I don't know if a lot of you guys have noticed out there. People are starting to basically crash out just as a daily situation. What's up, Marine? How you doing? People are basically just starting to crash out as a daily situation. It's not even Iran. It's not even the bullshit back and forth between Democrats and Republicans. It's just, I don't know what you want to call it. I don't have a name for it. There's an odd air about the world right now. I don't exactly know how to describe it, what to call it, what to say. It's a collective meh. Only noises can describe what's going on. I'm not going to lie when I say I don't see a lot of happy people in America. I'm pissed off just like you are. Prices are going up. Things aren't getting better. Iran, we're going to help them, and everything seems to be working out a little bit over there. But there's just like an overall meh going on. What's up, Nana? There's just like an overall meh with the world right now. I don't know how to describe it. It's like all of this shit I'm seeing here is just stuff I expect to happen. What's up, OJ? And nothing is really, how do I put that? Nothing is really big to me. A nuke could go off, and I really wouldn't give a shit. Oh, I loved it, Nana. I'm going to have to, Reagan's, definitely. Is anybody else out there like that? I don't know what to call that. It's an evil je ne sais quoi of the average pop. What's up, Albania? It's an evil je ne sais quoi that's going on with the general population here, not just in America. Most people in the world, and nobody can communicate. Exactly, Nana. Nobody can communicate without fighting at this point. Every single person, whether they're on the road, whether they're fucking in online, whether they're in college, whatever it is, nobody does anything but fight. That's all everybody does, is just fight. Fuck you. You suck. You're doing this wrong. We got to hold you again. What is all this shit? Can somebody tell me what the hell is going on here? Like, there's this weird kind of overlying background of everybody has to be held accountable except for me, the one doing the holding the accounting to. And everybody's a problem but me, and I must be a fucking freedom fighter of some kind. And I'm not exactly sure what to do to fix this. I have a lot of government plans. I'll read the news and give you my government plans, which I've done a million times. But nobody's interested in any of it. Nobody's interested in fixing or repairing or bringing Democrats and Republicans together. They're just assholes. And it's not just the usual social media asswipes. We're used to that. There's a really large mental illness that has permeated the entire United States. Now, the way I look at it is every I'm not even going to say presidential cycle, but there's always kind of a theme here in the United States. Fashion, history, post 9/11 coming together, fight the bad guys, be the good guy, this type of shit, right? And all that's been removed for, well, you didn't do it right like this. You need to do it this way. I'm holding you accountable. It's getting fucking old as shit. It's really getting old. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know what to put it into. Social media is not fun. Doing basic things doesn't seem to be fun anymore. Everybody's just a fucking asshole. And I don't want it to be like that. I want people to be happier. But they're not. They're simply not happy. One of the biggest problems here, and this does pertain to the news, every single aspect of your life at this particular point is pushed by some algorithm. Nothing is except an algorithm. Whether you go to a grocery store, whether you, what's up, Georgia? Oh, hell yeah, my friend. Whether you're at a grocery store, whether you're driving a car, if you're looking up the news, if you're playing video games, if you're looking on YouTube or TikTok, everything is just an algorithm trying to pursue you about what you think you might want. And it's never right. It's always fucked up. It's terrible. And I want out. I don't want to live in this algorithm shit. It's stupid. It's useless. For instance, I know for a fact on this platform that nobody gets my notifications, or very few. I'm well aware of that. When I talk to YouTube, they tell me everything's fine. But they're just lying to you. And it's the same with every other platform. Everything's picked and chose. It's curated. It has nothing organic. There's nothing real about anything. Yeah, most people are sad. It's ridiculous. And why is it like that? I was always told the cream always rises. If something's good, it permeates to the top. And if it sucks, it gets shit down the fucking poop can. But that's not what's happening in this world. What's happening in this world is stuff like, look at CNBC, look at MSNBC. Some of these people with lower ratings than I fucking have on social media get $20 million a year. Yeah, I randomly checked for you to be on. Exactly, Albania. YouTube told me 2 nights ago that everything is fine and everybody's getting my notifications. They told me that when I was talking to them 48 hours ago. They literally lied to my fucking face. Oh, everything's working fine. And I told them, well, I have 30 people who have clicked the bell and it's not coming in. Nope, system's working fine. Yeah, and they told me, oh, there's no restrictions. And they're lying. They're simply lying. And I just want somebody to quit being a fucking lying sack of shit. That's all I want, is just people to quit being a lying sack of shit at social media sites. The people at TikTok are lying sacks of shit. The people at YouTube lie to you so you won't fucking try to off yourself. That's literally what it is. If you go on to chat with YouTube, what's up, Woodsman? If you go to chat with YouTube and you say, hey, this is making me mentally unstable, they'll send you something. Well, we know how you feel. That's because so many people have tried to kill them fucking selves because of the behavior of social media companies. They actually have a plan for that. Thank you, Albania. So social media companies now say, oh, this guy's trying to take himself out. So we have a thing to send you. So because it happens so often. Thank you, Albania. And I say, why do you act like that? Well, because we're dickheads. Oh, okay, I got it. And so it's getting to the point where I don't want to do the news. I don't want to talk anymore on social media. I hate this shit. I have a friend, well, she's a boss, really. She pays me anyway, that basically told me any platform that gets rid of AI and fucking censorship restrictions is basically going to win over these. These ones, TikTok and YouTube and all that, they're very popular. But at the same time, they're not liked. They're tolerated because that's all there is. Let me just put it to you this way. If you could go on a social media site that does not have AI and wouldn't censor politics, would you leave these platforms? TikTok and YouTube, would you leave them for a platform that doesn't censor or have AI? I would leave every social media platform to go to any other platform that doesn't use AI and doesn't restrict me. Now, I know you said, well, what about Rumble? Well, no, I don't want a Rumble, right? Rumble is trash. Oh, it's getting bigger. Wonderful. It's not. It has to be like YouTube or TikTok, but with no goddamn censorship or AI shit. Now, the problem is with social media is the same reason that data centers are starting to come about, and that's because everything is being AI trained. But here's the thing people don't want to talk about. Everything you see, every commercial, AI, TikTok, AI, this AI, that AI. AI's not any fucking good, though. AI sucks. It doesn't understand nuance. It doesn't fucking do what I want when I ask it. It literally will lie to you on resources, simply making shit up. Oh yeah, Gobbledygook said something about John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band. Here's a PDF. Click the link, it goes to something that doesn't even exist, but it says it's a source. That's your modern AI. And we're supposed to fucking like this shit. Thank you, Marine. I don't like AI. My problem is I don't understand why YouTube and TikTok have put so much effort into AI when no one likes it. What, you want to automate so you can get rid of your shitty staff that do bad things anyway? You want AI to make wrong decisions, which it mainly does, getting rid of the top 16 out of 100 YouTube channels as far as subscribers are concerned? That should fucking sicken you. And then on top of that, you have to, exactly, Marine. Then on top of that, you have to fight an algorithm that's purposely trying to suppress you and your words and news because it might be offensive or look at it the wrong way. Or maybe that fucking heart looks like a butt, so it'll say it's sex. I'm serious. I had a friend that was on YouTube, and he had a logo with a circle with a dot in it. Videos on TikTok, have you watched them? Some, yes. I need to watch more. I need to get on there. I haven't responded very much. But it was a circle with a dot in the middle. And the algorithm on YouTube kept flagging him for sexual content. Because I guess the fucking logo looked like a cartoon tit that a child could draw. So the algorithm thought the circle with the dot was a naked boob. Yeah, I'd rather have a human that half-asses. Exactly, Albania. And I say, when is this going to end? The problem is this. And I know I'm getting into the news. I'm off track, whatever. I'm sorry. I don't care. I'm pissed off today. I didn't ask for any of this fucking AI crap. I didn't ask for it. I don't want every fucking job automated. I want certain things automated, and I want a human doing it. I don't want some algorithm and AI system tell me when you're promoted or not, demonetized or not, shown or not. Did you have enough watch time? Did you meet the marks, the markers? No, why don't you just say if it's good, it shows, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't know how fucking hard that is, how you can take something so easy. I don't know. What's up, America? I don't know how any social media platforms. No, I didn't ask for it. I didn't ask for any of this shit. All as I wanted was automation at food places to not fuck my hamburgers up. That's it. I didn't want goddamn AI to make system fucking decisions on whether someone's promoted or hidden or whether they're demonetized or shown or whether a word's offensive. It's fucked up. It's wrong. It's not good. People are writing books with AI. None of it is good. Didn't you love unregulated corporations, though? Of course not. But do you think that do you really think that these corporations are going to use AI to be regulated? Are you kidding me? These AI systems are going to be turned into weapons of fucking fraud. Obviously, they're going to fucking write these programs and systems to learn how to fucking do auto learning to commit crimes and to gouge customers and what times with fucking surge purchasing to increase and decrease prices to take more money to take from you and give it to the rich. That's what we're doing here. That's what, like with YouTube, with the algorithm on YouTube. Why do you think there's AI at YouTube? Probably not. I would not like it. Not now, maybe 20 years from now, but not now. So why do you think YouTube and TikTok have turned to AI? Do you think it's to make your experience better? No, it's to be cheaper. It's to they don't have to pay people and they can pocket the money. They can demonetize people and pocket the money. They can pocket while you work. That's what it's there for. There's no other reason. And then the streamlining, the positives that AI gains, I'll just give it to you this, have equal and worse negative responses. So the positivities you could gain from AI is going to be negated with severe negatives. And we're already seeing that now. Yeah, we're already, exactly, Albania, not yet anyway. We're already seeing that now, and I can prove what's going on. It's not difficult. My first news story will prove that. Zero job creation in the private sector in the last month or two. Zero job creation. Why do you think that is? That's because of AI and AI tools. And the problem that we're seeing here, I've never been anybody's guy. I'm in the middle. I always was. That's why on my old channel, I used to have videos pro and against Trump, depending on what the policies were. Problem was, though, is that account was also removed. Surprise, surprise. So anyway, what we're seeing here with the AI rise and what's going on, damn right. Hell yeah, my friend. That's right, Hippie J. This right here has got keef in the joint. So this is a keef joint right here. AI's replacing the... Nice job. That's nice. But what we're seeing right now with one of the first news stories for the week, bigger ones, I should say, zero job creation in the private sector. That should irritate you. Not 1% job creation. What's up, Ruthie? Zero job creation in the private sector. Do you understand what that means? That means that nobody's being hired. There's no more jobs. It's stagnant. Private credit crisis is also a giant problem. Non-existent growth in the labor market is the first time we've ever seen that in America's history. What's up, Christina? How you doing? What's up, America? Literally, this is the worst we've seen in American history. Zero job creation. Well, why is that? AI, fuckfaces. That's why. No other reason. AI came in and the amount of jobs that are being gained are also being removed. So the people that are being taken out of their jobs, what's up, Rick Jones, are wrapping back into a dwindling system while AI is encompassing more and more jobs that should be going to you that they're taking. Now, obviously, this was inevitable. This was inevitable. At the same time, it didn't have to be like this. Let me see your joint. Hold on. She's hitting it real quick. So, what's up, big dog? How you doing? since I've seen someone, I know roach clips. Yeah, my wife, she swears by them. So the situation is caused by monetary reset, but we haven't been there yet. I'm waiting for the monetary reset, but they're not doing it. They're fucking dragging their feet on purpose, by the way. So that coincides, AI taking over your shit, with a private credit crisis that could lead Wall Street into trouble. I don't give a fuck about Wall Street. Hell yeah, thank you, my friend. This, I think, is...
Oh, it's Indica, I'm sure.
This is Indica. And the Keef... probably an Indica. I also got a hockey puck of hash over there I got to get into. Very nice shit. But we have a private credit crisis. People can't pay their bills. So, I mean, you have to understand, the news is easy to go through. Damn right, Rick Jones. But there is a problem at every angle coming into the American people. Thank you, Liquid. And the problems that are coming into the American people are as follows. Your prices are too high. Your jobs are non-existent. The wages are stagnant. The value of the dollar is too low. That's just what happened upstate. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. YouTube says that my account is not restricted at all, and everybody gets my notifications. While I have 30 people saying, I never get your notifications ever. So clearly either 30 people are lying or YouTube is lying. Can't imagine which one it would be, since YouTube has a long track record of arbitrarily lying to its fucking creators. Can't imagine. Anyway, bottom line is, and that's what another thing that pisses me off. I get them when you post a vid. Yeah, see, but never on live. And I've talked to these people about it, and they're just like, well, we've checked and it works. I'm like, well, obviously you're checking wrong or it doesn't work. But I don't know what to do about the situation. I usually have a pithy comeback or an answer or whatever it is to say we can circumvent the problem or whatever it is. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we're between a rock and a hard place here, okay? Yeah, made from cotton and denim, backed by nothing. That's correct. We're looking at $166 a barrel for oil coming up. Do you understand? Yeah, barely anybody does. And when I talk to them, if you want to contact YouTube and say, hey, I don't get notifications for Sup America, what the fuck is wrong with you? I would love you to do that. The only way YouTube will ever fix it is if the general public says, hey, YouTube, show his shit. I'm dead serious. It looks at your profile. You've been posted the Eagle thing. You happen to be live. If you happen to be live, I wouldn't have known. See, exactly. And I'm going to keep this up here and tell them, and YouTube will straight just lie to my face. They've been doing it for a very long time. They seem to be very good at it. See, nobody gets notifications. Nobody does. And I literally tell YouTube, okay, so can you contact YouTube and tell them you don't get Sup America's notifications? Will you stop doing that, please? What's up, my friend? Because that's what, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's nonsense. I thought we just took Venezuela and drilling. Our oil should be cheap. Yeah, I know, and it's getting worse because of corporate price gouging and speculation. It's fucked up. Yeah, so a long time ago, a YouTube employee told me that my entire account was restricted, and every video I made I had to put into a form to appeal. Then, ever since then, every YouTube employee has told me, oh no, everything's fine. Yeah, that's not real. Even though I had an hour-long conversation with a YouTube employee about what they were doing. So it's hilarious. Tell them to fuck off. That's funny, actually. You are a fucking gem. You are a legend. I love it. You, sir, are nicer. You're definitely... You say what I would love to say.
You do say it.
Well, I don't tell them to fuck
Well, no,
themselves.
because then they'd pay you.
I have told them to fuck themselves
Yeah.
before. I have done it before. I told them they were lying pieces of fucking shit before. Oh man, those were the good old days. We'll take 2 years to feel the. That's what I was. It's going to be a while. We have to extract it, refine it, get it to the American market. Anyway, yeah, it's soft banned. And they're like, well, shadow banning doesn't exist. I'm like, yes, it does. You just call it something different. Well, we can't manually control the algorithm. I'm like, you can. Your trust and safety team can. And the only reason you're fucking doing this to me is because I told Todd Burpay, the head of trust and safety on YouTube, that he was a fucking asshole on Twitter because his algorithm system sucked. That's what I told him, and that's why you're doing it. Petty like a fucking child. Petty like a fucking child. And that's what I've noticed about adults in the world today. Most of the time, I would not have a YouTube experience, no shit. Most of the time I've noticed that adults that are in charge, well, why not, Chief? That's terrible. Most of the time I've noticed that adults that are in charge of systems that are social media or tech companies tend to act like children as adults. So they literally will act like a child. A 45-year-old grown-up man. Hell yeah, Mike. See, Mike's good. He's getting there. He's getting the notifications. At least somebody is. And so I asked these people, I'm like, and I've talked to TikTok about this. Yeah, they're all woke. It's ridiculous. And not even close to a good way. So I actually have talked to these people, specifically on TikTok. And I was like, why are you like this? I was like, why are you so fucking harsh? You don't understand nuance. And they're basically saying, well, anything could be declared offense. And because of that, we have to watch for all offense. So the way I look at it, this is conditioning you to accept restrictions on free speech. I was down in Tennessee. So back in the 1980s or 90s, if someone told you you can't say that, outside of religious dogma, you would tell that person to eat a fucking bag of dicks. There would be no restrictions on free speech. You know that? So in 1989, you can't say that. That might be offensive. They would look at you like you had shit for brains, like something was wrong with you. They would say, who the fuck are you telling me that my speech is somehow harmful? Words are not harmful. You see, words are not ammunition. They don't, it's not a fucking machine gun mouth. You can't kill people with your words. But at some point, thank you, BG, what's up, America? Did you hear about Built in America? He got married. Fantastic. He's a good guy, man. But at some point, what's up, New York? Hell yeah, New York is amazing. At some point, it was determined that certain things were offensive because Donald Trump became president. So YouTube and Facebook and Twitter at the time led the charge to censor speech. Now, what they did was they dusted off a premise called misinformation that was only used as a tool to describe propaganda against from an enemy like Russia or China, or same with the terms disinformation, a government body creating a false narrative. So now, because of the perceived Russia this, Russia that, they decided that anybody having an opinion of their own that may have allied with something, it didn't matter if you were a government body or not, or even didn't. What's up, BG? Oh yeah, BG. Thank you for effing the chat. You didn't even have to be promoting or being on the side of Donald Trump. You could just say, hey, it seems like you're censoring my speech and I don't like it because I like guns, for instance. You might hate Donald Trump, but you like guns. And they say, well, no, guns are pro-Trump. What's up, Ohio? You say, well, what about I like weed? Well, weed is not advertiser friendly. Okay, well, what about I want to stop immigration illegally? Well, that's Trump, so that's misinformation. Well, what about if I have questions about 9/11 or about Israel? Well, that's misinformation. And I'm like, but it's not. I'm just questioning it. Well, questioning is misinformation. Having a dissenting opinion is misinformation. Oh, I didn't like what you said personally. That's misinformation. Oh, it's you. Misinformation. Misinformation. But basically shut up and say what we tell you to. And we're not going to give you a script, by the way. Oh, dude, I love New York. If I do, I'll get it into the end of the stream. But when we're sitting there talking about free speech, what? Oh, I'm not from New York. I just love New York. I've been there a shitload of times. I didn't take the picture though. But I look at the speech erosion, and I don't know how long some of you have been on YouTube. I don't know how long some of you have been on social media sites, right? I don't know how long you've been on those things. There was a time before all this, right? There was a time when posting a documentary about Nazism was not a racial offense against black people. It was called history. What's up, America? No, you didn't. You're good. There was a time when saying that, well, I agree with the liberals, but I also agree with Trump on this, was not a bannable offense. Yeah, I've been on YouTube since 2010, 2009. I've got a YouTube play button right behind me. I'm dead fucking serious. I've got a Susan Wojcicki right here. I've got an old YouTube play button from a demonetized account right there. All right? So I've been on this. There was a time I used to go on. Thank you, my friend. I used to go on and I would talk about the Muslim terror attacks. And I would read the names of the victims that were killed in the attacks. YouTube determined that that was considered hate speech and misinformation because that was disparaging against Islam. You see how that works? So I wouldn't even say anything against Islam. I would say at the Ariana Grande concert, where fucking Ariana Grande, where the Muslim terrorists came in and killed all those teenagers and shit, I was reading the names of those. Well, that was verboten because that could disparage Islam. Well, what about the fuckface that blew up people and shot them? That doesn't matter because those people dying, fuck them, because we don't want to upset Islam because that would be racist. That would be racist. And I just say it's not racist to question things. But on social media, it is. And people, and you see it on TikTok, the first example I saw was people on YouTube rolling back their content and making non-offensive things to make advertisers and the algorithm happy and not their followers. That's why Mr. Beast does what he does. That's what all these, exactly, that's right. That's why these people do what they do on YouTube, because the algorithm accepts it only. Damn right, Tommy Robinson. And if it's considered any other thing, it won't do it because it's friendly, it's safe, it's dead. Even if it's Satan backed by the devil himself, it doesn't matter. It's safe for the algorithm. Well, what about if it's not safe? Well, why is it not safe? Well, it may be considered offensive. Well, what do you mean? All the things that are good are considered offensive. Yeah, but we want you to be non-offensive and like that. Well, it's impossible. Sam Kinison wouldn't have been a comedian if he was non-offensive. Dave Chappelle would have never had Chappelle's show if he was non-offensive, right? Bill Burr would not be a comedian if he was non-offensive. If you were non-offensive on stage, you would be booed off and people would piss in your fucking face. Because a comedian being on stage or doing something like that, yeah, isn't it great? Yeah. Andrew Dice Clay, exactly. Hey, what's in the bowl, bitch? Back in 1991, if you didn't allow that type of free speech, you wouldn't have these people. But these systems, not just social media, these systems you're in right now are saying do that without offense. That's an impossibility. It's an impossibility to do that. Now, you can say it, you can, but you actually can't. Even if you're Jerry Seinfeld, you don't get into politics or racial comedy. They were mocking marriage between men and women. Well, that's disparaging against women. Okay, well, what the fuck can you say then, asshole? Right? What the fuck are you allowed to do then? If everything's offense, if everything's not fun, if it's some fucking mental gymnastics to find out what you're allowed to fucking say, then what the fuck just give me a list of talking points I'm allowed to say then. Right? If that's how you want it, you fucking dickwipe. Thank you, Liquid. If that's how you want it, give me a list of talking points. Otherwise, I'm sick of fucking feeling around in the dark while you give me esoteric, vague nonsense. Right? I remember one time I was at a job and they said, don't say anything personal. Just talk about your job. And I'm like, okay, so I'm with these people for 8 to 12 hours a day. Not allowed to talk about anything in your life. Everything has to be superficial NPC trash. How's the weather? Man, it's looking hot out there today. Like you're some fucking goddamn GTA 5 character that has the same 30 talking phrases. Pull your string and you just... Who wants that? Aren't you deeper than that? Don't you have an internal monologue to question why I pay all this money and the roads are still fucked up? Why we're going in and doing what we do? Why aren't child molesters for the Epstein files being arrested? Why is Trump's name 3,000 times in the Epstein files, but so is Bill Gates and Bill Clinton? Sounds like Democrats and Republicans are all like that. Oh, we can't prosecute because the Dow's at 50,000, but don't say that. Okay, so like what are we doing here? Because we're supposed to be, and this is why I get pissed off. My wife thinks I'm a psycho half the time, I'm sure. What are you doing?
I was looking up what this guy said.
Oh.
I think it was a typo.
Oh. And so my wife thinks I'm a psycho with this. And it's like, look, we put in a lot of effort monetarily going into this world. We're being ripped off, okay? Everything's a problem recently in America. But the bottom line is you're simply being ripped off. You're ripped off on your taxes. You're ripped off on cost. You're ripped off on airline tickets. You're ripped off on fucking this, that, or the other. You're ripped off on your experience. They tell you America's the freest nation in the world, and you can't say this or say that. Or you have social media sites conditioning you to change your speech so you can maybe make a couple $100 a month. But why? Well, to silence dissension, of course. The first link in the chain forged, the first voice silenced, irrevocably changes us all, correct? The first opinion censured. Isn't that what happens? Forms the link in the chain that destroys fucking freedom for all. But how dare you say offensive stuff? Because I, Karen, bitch ass, might get upset at the consequences of saying what possibly the truth or the falsehoods may be. Because either somebody might tell a truth that's hidden, or somebody might lead astray stupid people because they lie. And the problem is, though, no, the files are huge, man. I work for a living, so I have to find on Twitter what I can find. But the bottom line is, it's like, who are these people that determine what is offense and what is not? Why do you enjoy it? Why do you support that? For instance, the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League. What's up, me? The ADL. What does the ADL do? The Anti-Defamation League. The ADL records and finds offense and contacts people to get that removed. That's not freedom in America. What the fuck are you talking about? There's no freedom with that. That's not free. That's not free expression. That's somebody being employed to suppress you, which is against 18 U.S. Code 241. But nobody gives a shit. What's up, me? And so I say, okay, I don't understand how we have laws here in the United States that are clear as crystal, and then you have people breaking those laws in public, making profit, and everybody says, yeah. So am I to understand, to make it in America, you just have to break the law? That's what it is? Then why even have it? But I will tell you this, the United States is not free. It's free enough, but it's not free. Your definitions of freedom is not real here in America. I'll just put it to you this way. I live in a state where weed is illegal. I still have to drive around looking over my shoulder. What's up, Maine? Even if I don't have weed on me, because my car might smell like a lingering of it. And what that'll mean is that means I get pulled over, searched, taken out, have my car ripped apart, find nothing, go through because, well, the Fourth Amendment says you drove a car, therefore I can search you. Well, that's not it. The Fourth Amendment says you have to have probable cause. Well, your tail or your license plate light is out. Therefore, no, I do it illegally. That's probable cause. Your license, think about this. Let's really get into brass tacks before you talk shit. Your license plate light is out. Therefore, that's probable cause to search your vehicle. How does that, in any way, shape, or form, uphold to the Fourth Amendment? I don't give a fuck if you say, well, there might be a crime. You may be doing something. If you have nothing to hide, then don't worry about it. It doesn't matter what stupid fucking excuse you put in there to circumvent that. Your circumvention of the Fourth Amendment means that you're a piece of shit. There's no other, it's black and white. It's clear as fucking crystal. Any circumvention of those Bill of Rights means you're a piece of shit and you shouldn't be in any authority position whatsoever. So if you say, well, I pulled the person over because they had their license plate light out. Then I walked up and smelled weed. Well, that was enough to do it. Had you not, what's up, B Vance? Had you not pulled the person over falsely for a license plate light out, deeming that probable cause somehow to search your car for drugs, you shouldn't have pulled him over in the first place. Well, he was driving with drugs. It doesn't matter. You've lost the point if you believe that the outcome circumvents the law. Do you understand what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if you stop a murderer. Well, I'm glad we violated those rights to stop the murderer. That's not what this is, you stupid fuck. You don't violate the rights of a person. Well, the Supreme Court determined what? The Supreme Court determined that anything is probable cause so they could circumvent your rights. That doesn't make them correct either. For instance, the First Amendment. You have the right to peacefully protest and basically say multiple things. Well, you're not allowed to say this or say that. Supreme Court determined. That's not what the law says. The law doesn't say shouting fire in a theater is not protected speech. The law was written that way so you would be smart enough not to be taken advantage by the speech. And if you were, you're a stupid motherfucker. That's all this is. This is not nanny state tuck-in time, okay? This is not the government tucks you in at night and protects you from speech because someone said fire in a crowded theater. You have to be smart enough to say, oh, well, looks like there's not a fire in the theater. Maybe I better look around and not listen to every dumbass motherfucker that's trying to get me fucking killed or something like that. Maybe I have to have, well, yeah, we do, but they don't care. Maybe I have to have what's called discernment. If somebody says fire in a theater and everybody panics and runs away, and I sit there not moving and I look around, there's no smoke, there's no fire. Well, this person, it doesn't matter. Be better than that. Figure it out. Don't be in panic mode. Stop acting like fucking chimpanzees. What the fuck? I mean, really. Then you look at your Second Amendment. Well, the Second Amendment, you're right. Owning a gun, it can't be infringed upon. It literally says, quote, cannot be infringed upon. So I'm not exactly sure how that could be taken out of context as to where I can't carry a gun on a subway in New York City. Well, I don't give a fuck what you determined. Your determination is as valuable as fucking rolled dog turds. The Constitution says it can't be infringed. So it doesn't matter what you determine. Your determination is diarrhea. It's noise. It's nonsense. It has no bearing in reality. I don't care if you determine I should pay a fucking jerk-off tax. It doesn't matter. What matters is I'm allowed to do whatever. Well, our city decided this. It doesn't matter what your city decided. It doesn't negate that. Well, my state decided. Once again, it doesn't negate it. Well, my county, my municipality, this particular police chief, none of that circumvents the actual Second Amendment of any kind. And to say that is to purposely give up your rights in the fucking form of safety. Well, don't you want to be safe over being free? No, I would rather be less safe than not free. Yes, I would rather be less safe. Yes. So you're saying that you think a person on drugs should fly a plane? No, we have to have common sense. It doesn't mean you go into retard town because of that. All right? That you have to understand. For instance, I know if I drive drunk, it's much worse than driving high. I know that. Everybody knows that. If I fly a plane drunk, that's more of a problem than if I drive a car high. Well, why is that? Because the pilot is carrying 200, 300, 400 people and can fly it into a fucking bank building. That's why. Damn right we're Afro Man. Fuck yes. In a car, the most damage I can do is maybe take out a family on the highway. See, that's why. Well, both are dangerous. Yes, I'm aware. But one can fly into the Superdome and kill everybody, and one can take out a van on the highway. Totally different capacities. It would be like saying, well, I don't understand. If you could be able to drive a Pinto, you should be able to drive a tank. Well, there's a difference there. You see what I'm saying? If you're driving a Pinto, you might just kill yourself. If you have a tank driving around loaded with ammunition and the guy's a little, he might fire it into fucking crowds of people. So you're saying you can't own a tank? No, you should be able to own a tank. You should not be able to buy the tank rounds, right? There's certain things that should be made. Like, does the Second Amendment allow you to possess a Tomahawk cruise missile? Yes. Yes, it does. Who's going to sell you a Tomahawk cruise missile? Nobody on the planet. What are you, fucking retarded? Of course they're not going to sell you a cruise missile. Who the fuck are you? Right? North Korea might sell you some semblance of one. Maybe some old Russian equipment left in Africa somewhere. You might be able to pick up some RPGs, this, that, or the other. But nobody's going to sell you a battleship. They're not going to sell you the ammo for it. Because and you can make it yourself, have fun blowing up. You know what I'm saying? But that's what life is. But you have to stop being fearful of the world. It's not safe out there. You have to understand that. Daddy government is not there to tuck you in at night. Give you a kiss, a little blowy there. Nobody's allowed. He's not doing that. Uncle Sam doesn't do that. But you believe that the government should keep you safe in every capacity. But that's not what this is. The government, however, should stop giving money and benefits to illegal aliens and give them to American citizens. That's a fact. Does that mean that Americans have to pull themselves up by their bootstraps? I would say yes, but at this point, the cost is too high. You see what I'm saying? So you can pull yourself up by your bootstraps to a certain point. But at another point, you have to realize that the billionaires have so much money, there's no way to fucking survive. I mean, this is not a Democrat or Republican thing. You have to get out of that derangement. Once again, I always say the government, if you believe like Democrats or Republicans, it's the same as putting your hand in a full toilet bowl and then just spinning the turds around. I use that analogy because that's all you're doing. The toilet's clogged. And you keep voting for Democrats and Republicans. You put your hand in the toilet and spin it this way. Well, you don't like it. So now all of a sudden you put your hand back in the toilet and start spinning it the other way. And you say, well, wait a minute. If I spin the turds this way, it'll do better than if I spin the turds that way. And the problem isn't the turds spinning in the toilet. That's just your government that's been in charge for 40 years. The problem is the toilet's clogged, you see? And as long as you fuckfaces keep playing in the bowl, you're not going to do anything. Voting Democrat or Republican's not going to help you. You're just putting your mouth in the bowl and blowing bubbles now. Brr. Brr. Donald Trump. Brr. What about Kamala? Kamala has a couple more bubbles at the end. All right? You really need to unclog the shitter. Well, what's unclogging the shitter? Getting rid of all your stupid fucking politicians and literally starting over. And getting rid of Citizens United, having companies taken out. There's so much you have to do. It would take me an hour and a half to say it. And it does, doesn't it? That's what you have to do. And nobody wants to do that. Because you almost feel sorry for these people that you hate. You know you do. Mitch McConnell, Chuck Schumer, you hate him. You want to see him ran over by a fucking pickup truck. Watch him go blah, 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 with the arms and legs going up. You want to see that. Thank you, PETA. But instead, when it comes time to flush the toilet, you get sentimental and vote for him, don't you? Oh, well, Chuck Schumer, he's been around for 36 years. Even though I swore to God I would never come near him and fucking hate his guts more than Satan himself, I'm going to vote for him. Oh, Mitch McConnell. Yeah, you know, I really think that turtle-looking fuckbag is really horrible for America. But I'm going to betray him by not voting for him. Oh, no. Oh, because Mitch McConnell will know that you betrayed him personally. You fuckface. You betrayed the turtle. Oh, no. He'll come to your house. What's he going to do, beat you with the walker? Why would you fucking keep voting for these retards? What is wrong with you? They're clearly corrupt. The Democrats and Republicans, they're corrupt fucks. Each and every one of them. Lobbyists, hello? You want to see what lobbying does? Look at the state of Indiana. That's a lobby job right there. No fucking restrictions on zoning now, thanks. No legal weed because Jesus doesn't want you to smoke it, but weed signs advertised in the state that it's a crime. I'm dead serious. If you ever drive through Indiana, whole state, you'll see a sign for a weed store in Illinois or Ohio or Michigan. But it's a crime here. So the state determined we'll arrest you for it, but we're advertising for it. That's what you get. That's what you get when you do this shit. Stop voting for these dumbasses. Get rid of them. The incumbents, Democrats and Republicans. Well, you need to be one side or the other. You need to suck these nuts is what you need to do. You need to put your mouth firmly and inhale deep. Because I don't want to. Well, you have to. I don't want to. And I'm not gonna. I hate them all. I want to see every politician that's an incumbent thrown out of office and replaced with snap elections from random American citizens. Yes, thank you, Cole. That's it. That's all. Oh, I'm sure, aren't they all? Or isn't it Iran? Aren't they already? No, it's India. I would assume they would. I'm assuming Iran would. And so I would, because what is it, 80% of the government is lawyers? So imagine if instead of lawyers, you had bricklayers, electricians, bakers, Marines, doctors, couple of lawyers, not too many, neurologists. Imagine that. Imagine if you had a bunch of actual physicians that were in charge. Can you imagine that there would be almost no health problems as far as health insurance companies if you had maybe 21 doctors in our fucking government, like actual physicians, trained surgeons that have done it, that know what the bullshit is, maybe an airline pilot or two. That would be nice. Something, machinist, somebody that's a hard laborer, maybe some random tree trimmer out in Massachusetts wins. Maybe even a prostitute, who knows? But something, Uber drivers and there you go. Get the old the proctologist. Those are Uber drivers at this point. And so I say, don't you want a better government? Or do you want to keep voting for the farmers? Damn right. And we need a lot of those. You have fucking lawyers running the Department of Agriculture. That's insane. What did Bush do? Which one? They both suck dick. You tell me. Strippers? That would be funny. I bet they would be amazing accountants. Telephone cleaners. So anyway, Bush, he robbed a bunch of people for bailout money. Everyday blue-collar Americans. That's basically, yes, that would be better than what we have here. And the billionaire elite lawyer class has failed you. But you keep fucking voting for them. You keep fucking voting for them. Stop fucking voting for them. Stop it. Stop voting for fucking incumbents. What is wrong with you? Literally anybody you're voting for, just look them up. And if they have anything other than the word, I was a lawyer, yes, basically. So if their profession was lawyer, if it was some type of if you've been in the government for 20 years already, you shouldn't be in charge. Fuck you. That's just what it is. I have no respect for any of those people. I just don't. White House, the Waffle House. So let's continue with the news. I'm sorry. Do you think there will ever be a female president? Yeah, of course. I just don't want it to be. Okay, so before I go on, let me just tell you why the female presidents didn't win. The ones that were running. Because both of those women were fucking garbage. That's why they didn't win. It had nothing to do with misogyny or sexism. It's because Hillary Clinton was an unlikable bitch. And fucking Kamala Harris was a drunk piece of shit. Kamala Harris was, in effect, not capable of leading the country. And Hillary Clinton was an unlikable cunt. That's it. That's it. That's all there is. So it's like Kamala Harris was underwhelming. I know a lot of people, well, with Kamala, we're with her. She was garbage, though. And so was Hillary Clinton. Pick better. That's all you got to do is pick better. Any other woman would have been better. Any other person. What about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? I don't want to admit it because she sucks, but she would be better than Hillary Clinton, yes. Because she doesn't have bodies attached to her. Don't pick Ilhan Omar. Don't do that shit where you're trying to one-up on Trump because you're going to throw America into the fucking meat grinder and will never recover. All right? You need to pick somebody that is potentially patriotic, not in favor of the world, but in favor of the country. We all want a peaceful world, but we want to uplift our country. Why? Because fuck the rest of them. Well, yeah, that's true. And you say, well, that we need to be giving our stuff to help them, but we don't, though. In certain cases, we do, right? So, like for instance, with Iran. Well, what's the deal with Iran? Well, I already know what's going to happen. We're getting into a worldwide pissing match. But the spirit behind it was you murder 50,000 civilians and shoot 300,000. We're going to blow up your military. Okay, pretty cut and dry before Israel got involved. Pretty cut and dry right there. We're going to come over to your country. You were killing a bunch of people. We're going to stop the murder by blowing you up. Oh, okay. I'm with that. Like if we would have done that in Rwanda. How many times have I said that? And during the 90s when the Rwanda genocide was going on. If we would have pulled up shop and blown up the bad guys, stopped the innocent from being killed, I'd be fine with that. You don't have to take resources. Stop the murder. Well, we're not behind that because we don't like Trump. Okay, so the alternative is these people being murdered and raped to death in some cases by the government. So, like, what are we going to do here? Like, where are we at here? Well, we're for women's rights as liberals. Great, but why are you not for women's rights in Iran? Well, because Trump. That argument doesn't work. Thank you, Cole. That argument doesn't work. You not liking Trump, so you're telling me if they cure cancer during Trump's tenure, then it doesn't matter because that's not a real cure. But when the next person takes over, now we can call it a cure. See, I saw that bullshit being done when I was in university. And I didn't like it, saying, well, a white person or a Republican or whatever invented this. Well, it doesn't matter even if it exists already until a liberal or a person of color does it. And it's like, well, the science is already being made. It doesn't have to be done again. Oh, no, it does because that was racist science. This is non-racist science. It's like there is no race in science, dumb fuck. It either just is or it isn't. And you've injected that into science. You see, it didn't need to be there. Science in and of itself goes beyond race. It goes beyond that. And you have weakened science by doing that. By saying, well, what's the person's color that's doing this? Science doesn't give a fuck. It's either the truth in consequence or it's gain in fucking progression or it's nothing. So sex and race and all this doesn't come into that. Mayfield? Mm-hmm. Yeah, smoke another joint, sexy? Mm-hmm. And so this is what and it doesn't matter. People don't want to get out of that. People don't want to get out of debating and bitching about race and gender and sex and all this other shit. They don't want to get out of it, ever. They love it. They revel in it. It's almost sexual to them. That's how much they enjoy it. They love the conflict, and if they don't have it, they cannot function as a being. That's when people talk about Trump derangement syndrome, for instance. Trump derangement syndrome, TDS. It's not actually Trump derangement syndrome. It's a political mental illness that's almost an obsessive compulsion. Okay? So this goes on both sides, but only fucking, well, both sides really have it, but it's his hat makes him interesting. So when you say, for instance, liberals hate everything Trump does. Therefore, liberals will never align with Trump even if it's good. Why? Because the You want me to open it? Oh, okay. Because the No, this is in New York City, though. I took an image of it.
Sorry.
Oh, you're okay. But the liberals do not want to give a victory to their enemies. So they will basically negate progress in order to fight.
Pre-roll or the one that I rolled?
Pre-roll. That one.
The one pre-roll?
Yeah, the big one. So Republicans will say whatever you believe is wrong because of Trump derangement syndrome. Liberals will say whatever you do is wrong because of Trump. And you say, well, I'm a doctor and I cured cancer, but I voted for Trump. Well, that treatment doesn't work. Well, the treatment does work, but, well, no, you were a Trump supporter, so now it doesn't work. Well, that's not... There's no correlation on your politics versus if something functions or not, or if science is done correctly. That's in your mind. That's an obsessive compulsion that you've lived so long. And it's the same with people on Trump's side that hate liberals. It's a political obsessive compulsion, Tylenol, that does not go away. And the political obsessive compulsion is a life. It's almost... Do you know what a deep neural pathway is? The difference between a learned behavior and a deep neural pathway? So, a learned behavior is a pattern. But you can break a pattern. Okay? Man, oh man, that's strong. Oh, I'm sorry. That was some good weed. Oh, my audio went out. Oh my God, my fucking eardrum was rattling from the cough. Holy shit. Wow. Okay, so when you're in your brain, right? If you have just a learned behavior that becomes a pattern, that's called you have a neurological pattern that forms, right? Almost, it seems like it, Willie, almost to the point where it becomes like a pattern, a muscle memory type of pattern. Yes, I did. But eventually, you have what's called a deep neural pathway that forms. And that is more than a pattern. That is like a consideration of a lifestyle, right? Now, when you develop a deep neural pathway, you have to use special techniques in order to fucking get rid and change the deep neural pathways. So, when Donald Trump is out of office, liberals will still have that deep neural pathway, still blaming Trump for a decade. It won't just go away unless they do something about it. 10 years from now, 10 years from 2028, January 2029, when Trump leaves office, so in 2039, some of these people will still be blaming Donald Trump for the state of the country. Republicans, 10 years from now, will still be blaming Democrats for the inability to do their bidding, I guess. Because both of you dumb fucks have developed deep neural pathways of political obsessive compulsion, right? And I've been trying to express this for a long time. And liberals will say, no, it's because of Trump. And Republicans, no, it's because of liberals. Yes, you both have just proven yourself, because that's exactly the first place you go, because it's the only place the electrical impulses will light up at this time until you do something about it. That's you. And there's nothing you can do unless you have certain types of therapy done on you. And it involves eye movements, it involves breathing, it involves changing thoughts when you think of Trump or whatever to diverge it into something else, right? So like, oh, absolutely. So like, you literally have to train your mind. Well, sorry, I'm talking. You literally have to train your mind to not think about Trump or politics to get off of it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I mean? Fuck! What's in that?
Oh, you picked it out.
I know, but damn. Fuck, woman.
This is blue fur coat distillate.
That's why. So, that strain is called blue fur coat distillate infused. Ugh. This is why I take smaller hits, because it's concentrate infused. No, this is good shit. This is from, I get all my shit from recreational stores. Anyway, alls I'm saying is, are you ready for another government? That's all I'm saying. Can anybody admit that they're sick of this shit? Let me just ask you a question. Are you sick of the gas price volatility? Are you sick of the political infighting? Are you sick of the... it's not... Oh, man, I don't know, my friend. Are you sick of the constant... I go on a live stream, you go on a live stream, you're on TikTok or YouTube, and there's always some fuckface that wants to attack you. That's a derangement. That's a mental illness. Don't you understand that? It's not normal behavior to go into somebody's house, government building, live stream, and to start just hating them because of what they're saying. You could say disagreements and debates. That's what we live for. The one thing I want to see YouTube do is have it where you can bring guests on so we can start debates on here. That's what I'm looking for. I don't think you can do that, can you? Yeah, I don't think you can do that. That's the thing. I believe that there is compromise. But the compromise won't come from what we know right now, right? Any talking point that goes into the media, into the social sphere that we're dealing with here is basically the trimmings and the edges and the remnants of old world governments that we're still dry humping. So, for instance, and I'll start with this. Capitalism is an antiquated form of economics. And democracy is not a good form of government. That's just the truth. Socialism is an antiquated piece of shit and also is garbage. Communism is also an antiquated piece of horse shit from the Industrial Revolution that nearly serves no purpose whatsoever in the modern world. None of those governments or economic systems have any fucking reason or point of being used at this time in any capacity. The world we're living in right now is beyond every single one of those types of systems. Beyond, I don't care what you say, how you can twist it. It is unevolved, immobile, unusable, antiquated, feudalistic horse shit. Socrates was killed due to democracy. Remember that. Democracy benefits very few over the median. It's not good. Then you have fucking socialism, which on a varying scale takes more and more from its people to pay for a ballooning economic system that it can't possibly ever quell, not without reducing its own population. And if you keep taking in illegal migrants like Europe does, it makes it even worse. So that's an issue. Communism doesn't work because of greed and fucking ineptitude. That's just as plain and simple. That's why communism has never worked, because as soon as they collectivize, they fucking immediately start stealing from the top, and then they fucking are ignorant in how to do logistics. So food rots. Millions starve, and that's how it works almost every time. So all those forms of government that we keep trying to bang out are the oldest dumb fuck garbage that's ever been. It's not even that they were bad. They were okay for their times, but they're gone now. These all require a system of extreme nationalism that frankly you people don't have for the most part. And the ones that do are living in a world that you could repair to nationalistic, but do you want to? That's what I'm asking. So if you say, well, we want to spread democracy. I don't want to spread democracy. Are you kidding me? I don't want to spread democracy because that's how fucking genocides happen. You serious? 51% of the population votes to go to war with 49% of the population. Then you have a major war based on Christian or religious beliefs, based on fucking ethnic beliefs, based on whatever. Insert fucking offense here, and then you go to war over it. That's what democracy does. That's why almost every country in the world declares themselves as a democracy. The world, these people lie. They don't give a fuck. They use it to their advantage, right? Damn right me. But then you say, well, what's a good government? Well, you have to develop one now. You have to develop a government that doesn't exist currently. It's a scary thought. People don't want to do it. Oh my God, what'll happen? What if it goes wrong? Well, you have to have a couple of main markers into what government style you want, and then you need to have a bristling of things that pull it together. And that's what it is. And it's not going to happen. These people will kill you if you try to intrude. That's how it's always been. Third parties either get ran out as a joke or they get fucking killed if they start getting too popular. That's generally the history here. Now, I don't want to admit it. I don't want to admit that that's how it works because maybe it doesn't work like that. But the bottom line is that there's a lot of people in charge of our world that do not want to change the world that you're living in, no matter how much you want it to change. So you're sitting there saying, well, I want to live in a world where I'm free. I have a place to live and food and water and shelter, clothing, a job if I need it, but a base living style where even if I don't want to work, I can actually survive, even if it would be minimal and meager. And these people say, well, no, I don't want to do that because your labor is our benefit. But then you say, well, what happens if you have a society that simply gets everything for free and then doesn't work? Well, then you have a stagnant shithole society because those people working are what drives the society forward. So it's a mix of work, personal responsibility, and freedom that you simply don't have. That means repealing laws that make certain things crimes. That means either becoming more or less nationalistic, depending on how you want to look at it. That means making friends with enemies and enemies with friends in some cases, based on what's going on. Look at Western Europe. They're becoming more totalitarian. So if you had a freer nation, they wouldn't ally with you. I know, it's ridiculous, Marine. And so we need when you look at the United States, you have to look at the country as a whole. Okay? The United States, externally, when you look at it, we have a shitload of resources and a shitload we shouldn't go to jail. No, exactly. In the United States, you have a shitload of resources, a shitload of ready-made infrastructure in cities, and you have a shitload of manufacturing capability and possibility. You have high innovation, high finance, high resource, high electric usage, and high fucking power capacity. You have the best of the best when it comes to that type of shit here in the United States. People want this territory, but they don't want to occupy it. They want to strip the territory. Okay? The United States exists. No, it's okay. I love you. The United States exists because of what we've been able to do. Now, how did we do that? Some people will say, well, it's a melting pot, and so it's people from other countries that came here. Yes, arguably every person that came here came from somewhere else. If you go back long, long ago in the timeline, all the way back to when the Bering Strait was connected to Russia, you can say everybody came from Asia at one point. Yeah, I'm well aware of that. Hey, that's fun. But the thing is we got lucky in America. But people at this point are angry at America. They're angry because we can effortlessly destroy every single thing that they hold dear. And that's what it is. And they believe that Donald Trump is a loose cannon that's willing to go to war over the slightest fucking offense. And that's basically what he's proven himself to be. Now, how did that happen exactly? Can anybody tell me, class, can anybody tell me how Donald Trump became the warlord warrior that he is to this day? Can anybody tell me in a quick fashion how Donald Trump became the bachelor guy, or what is it? Not the bachelor, what's that? Apprentice guy to this General Kill-em-all. So how did we get to this point? How are we in this room is what I'm saying. Well, we are in this room because Donald Trump knows one thing that you taught him, and this is an unfortunate thing, that liberals will never compromise with him. So what Donald Trump has learned is that he will never listen to you now. That's the problem with doing what's been done. This blocking each other like fucking chimpanzees, throwing feces at one another. The reason that is because you blocked each other off. So Trump says, I want to do this shit. Liberals say no matter what it is, it's a problem. Okay, great. So what's Trump do? Well, it's illegal. He's doing it anyway, though. You got to understand this. This is the problem, is The Democrats will say, well, it's illegal, it's this, that, or the other, whatever it is. And Trump will just say, I'm doing whatever the fuck I feel. I'm going to go bomb these fuckers. I'm going to do this, that, or the other. Well, why is that? You can't go to war. Oh, no, it's not a war. It's a limited incursion. It's, whatever, as they always say, like Russia did. So, but how did you get to this point where Trump won't listen to you? Because you wouldn't work with them. Now, maybe it was unworkable. I don't know. I don't know exactly why. It seemed to me that people were more pissed off artificially at Donald Trump. Bachelor got canceled. Yes, I did, actually. The Bachelorette. Didn't that get canceled? Yeah, there was something that happened. Yeah. And so it's leading to these points that we're getting at here. And I'll just give you a couple of stories that I was doing videos on, even though TikTok sucks. So the first story is Donald Trump is planning ground invasion, and it's of course a limited ground invasion. Donald Trump sent 2,200 Marines from the 31st Expeditionary out to the Middle East, if I recall. Let me see, is that the right group? I have a story with it. I'm just really high right now. Oh, yes. It might be the 31st. I'll have to find the story with it. Now it's not on here. But they're based... Okay, yes, thank you. 31st. So the 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit is going out to the Middle East right now. That was encompassing about 2,200 men, give or take. So that's going to be potentially bolstered to 5,500 from what I understand. So if you look at a map of the Straits of Hormuz on the other side in Iranian territory, there's 3 to 5 small to medium-sized islands. Those are oil refinery islands and just military, gunboat, pillbox, missile box, whatever the fuck it is, defense systems there. And so our objective is to take the Marines and take out those 3 to 5 islands and get a foothold in the Straits of Hormuz. Also a potential jumping off point in order to invade Iran from the south, I would assume, right across the straits there. But if they expect that, you'd have to go. Yeah, so I can't remember the name of the island exactly. I had a story with it. I've said it starts with a K. So the best thing that they can do, because Trump is pissed that Israel attacked Iran's gas fields because he wanted to take that for ourselves. So what we're going to do, Craig, thank you. That island. Thank you, Gianni. Very nice. Thank you. So what we're planning on doing basically is sending the 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit out there, bolstering it to about 5,500 and taking those islands with various troop sizes and equipment, blah, blah, blah. Once we fan out and take those islands right there, you can set up a base of operations for a potential ground invasion into Iran. Now, is a ground invasion on the table? Abso-fucking-lutely it is. And why is that? Well, it depends on how belligerent, if you want to call it that, Iran becomes. So the reason that this is going to be allowed is because the other day Iran fucked up enough to where they fired 4 missiles at a diplomatic conference in Riyadh where 10 other Arab nations, some allies, were stationing some leaders and diplomats. Now, the missiles were blown up, but the debris landed in the diplomatic quarter of Riyadh. 10 nations, diplomats, and prime ministers and shit were here. So that was seen as a turning point in this conflict, as Iran is now seeing diplomats and leaders as a target, especially since Ayatollah was killed, basically blaming anybody for doing business with the United States. If you fucking sold them rice 40 years ago, you're going to get a missile coming into fucking Mecca or whatever it is. So These people are fucking dangerous. They're a fucking loose cannon. It's a private first class at the helm of the fucking army. It's fucking out of control. And there's something that needs to be done. And you can either send in 5,000 or 6,000 Marines and take over those islands, and then probably another 250,000 regulars into the southern part of Iran, coming up against very fierce resistance, by the way. Initially collapsing as soon as the weapons are destroyed, which would be done probably within the first 3 to 5 days. We'd be bringing in A-10 Warthogs. We'd be bringing in you know what I'm talking about, the Apache, or not, they're Comanches now, aren't they? Did they upgrade them? You'd be bringing in the fucking squads of fucking Apaches and shit like that. You'd be bringing in the fucking the stealth bombers be coming. I don't know what's around right now. Everything would be coming out, and it would be mayhem. And you would have to liberate towns. It would be I would say a 2-year event in order to totally secure the fucking nation with our allies if these fucking idiots decided to join us, which most of them don't want to because they're pussies, but that's okay. The history of New York. I know. I've been going on. I'm sorry. I have some news to say, though. I'm sorry. But that's what it is. And so, let me be very clear here. The invasion, if Iran, we will not really... Like, I'm saying that we're going to have minimal casualties against them. Right? Well, the Suez Canal is not wanted to be secure. You see what I'm saying? You're talking about with Yemen? Yemen is a whole other thing. Yemen is a whole other thing. If you want to go down there, which I'm fine with that, but Yemen is a fucking mess. Yemen is like Somalia in a way. It is a fucking mess. And there's just a couple certain places like Kashmir. It's just certain places in the world that is just a fucking fucked up place. Why is it? Well, just the clash of cultures, where it's at, you know, just the history of the fucking back and forth that turned it into whatever the fuck it is now. That's what it is. You can't break everything. Anyway, so the invasion of Iran would go very smoothly as far as us taking people out. However, I know, I want to go to Skrotia Island, whatever it is, with the cool looking trees. There's supposed to be some of the best honey in the world on that island or in that series of islands there. I always wished I could have got some. It's very difficult to get here in America because, I mean, you know what I'm saying. But that shit right there is supposed to be the cut right there. I also don't mind the open AK-47 usage. Not gonna lie. Don't really mind it at all. I actually think that's kind of a good time. So, like, don't threaten me with a good time. You know what I'm saying? Nevertheless, I do have to at least back my country. Kind of like one of those things. It's just how it is. And anybody that comes from a nation that's older empirical will know, yeah, even if we're doing the wrong thing, you still have to go down with the ship sometimes. I don't think we're doing the wrong thing necessarily in Iran. Being a better way to retreat from Afghanistan. Absolutely. Afghanistan was a total fucking disaster. It was almost like a fucking bunch of college students were running it. It was ridiculous. Oy vey. But yes, so in the what we're doing now, Donald Trump says he wants to invade the island. We also have, Pakistan's cleaning up, aren't they? Yeah, Pakistan is cleaning up. I have seen some of that. A lot of it's being restricted because of just where it's coming from. But, Pakistan came in and they did, like, there was some back and forth. But Afghanistan, look, the Taliban just likes to abuse women. That's all they do. So, frankly speaking, if Pakistan took it all over and it would be a fucking blessing, to be honest. Right? Like, I'm serious. If Pakistan took over Afghanistan, that would be a blessing. Absolutely, there'd be, like, I cannot see a better future unless it was, like, there has to be some way. It would be less oppressive. That's all I can say. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but it seems like it. The Taliban's just fucked up. I don't know what's wrong with them. It's like it's like meth users are running the fucking government. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, everybody's on that pill that they had in Syria when they got rid of al-Assad, and they found that big, like, mounds of drugs that all the politicians were taking. And you're like, oh, that explains why you were all fucked up, because you were all addicted to whatever the fuck that was. It seems like that might be the case, because I think the European leaders, Macron, Zelensky, I think they all fucking use blow, all of them. I think they're all fucking drug addicts. The same with the old prime minister from New Zealand. What's her face? There's a whole bunch of them. Epstein files, children, fucking all that shit. Weird ass fuck about is what that is. And that's what they were doing. And so, is the Iran war nothing but cover for the Epstein files? What's everybody think? You guys let me know there. Anyway, so we're going to have a showdown with Russia. Russia's sending oil to Cuba as they're out of gas, and their country is in a blackout mode right now. Russia's sending 3 tankers, 1 with natural gas, 2 with oil, 728,000 barrels of oil, with 20,000 metric tons of natural gas. That's coming into Cuba, defying the embargo. So are we going to blow up oil tankers, or what are we going to do? That's happening Monday. Monday is going to be the day that the natural gas tanker is going to be coming into Havana. At least that's what they're saying. And April 4th or so is when the other oil tankers are going to be coming in to Cuba, and that will supply them for a while. So that's Russia defying the United States. What are your thoughts on that? Holy fuck. There is an embargo. Are we going to blow these people up? I don't know. And Iran hits multiple Gulf state oil refineries. Israel hits Tehran with new airstrikes on Persian New Year as war jolts the energy market. So the United Arab Emirates, Israel, coming from the United Arab Emirates, from the Associated Press, Israel pounded giggity Tehran with airstrikes Friday as Iranians marked Nowruz, the Persian New Year. Isn't that like the fire where you jump over the fire? In the midst of a war that sent shockwaves through the global economy and erupting, and risked drawing Iran's Arab neighbors directly into the conflict. Activists reported hearing strikes around Iran's capital. The attacks came a day after Israel pledged to refrain from more strikes on key Iranian gas fields, and Iran intensified attacks on oil and natural gas facilities around the Persian Gulf. Heavy explosions shook Dubai Friday as air defenses intercepted incoming fire over the city where people were observing Eid al-Fitr, the end of the Muslim holy fasting month of Ramadan.
Could you repeat that?
It's one of those. Yep, that's right. It's El Der Defer. That's right. Holy Muslim fasting month of Ramadan. And mosques made the first call to prayer. Iran kept up its wave of attacks launched as Israel that sent millions of people to shelters with sirens sounding across a wide swath of the north, from Haifa to Galilee to the border of Lebanon. It came after an intense day that saw more than a dozen missile launches on Thursday alone, according to Israel's military. Global fuel supplies have been under intense pressure because of Iran's stranglehold on the Straits of Hormuz, a strategic waterway which flows through which a fifth of the world's oil is transported. Yes, we know what it is. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said late Thursday that at the request of President Donald Trump, Israel will hold off any further attacks on Iran's offshore South Par gas field. The Iranian strikes in retaliation have led to already elevated global energy prices, further surging, and spurred Gulf allies to call for Trump to rein in Benjamin Netanyahu. Since the U.S. and Israel launched the war on February 28th, Iran's top leadership has been killed, and the country's military capabilities have been severely degraded. Netanyahu said in a televised address that Iran no longer has the ability to enrich uranium, blah, 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 blah. Suck my ass barf. Fantastic. So that is what is going on with the, quote, Armageddon scenario. Now, Donald Trump, I'm going to say Donald Trump, but the DOJ is now subpoenaing James Comey in an alleged grand conspiracy against Donald Trump. The former FBI director, James Comey, has been subpoenaed in a wide-ranging grand conspiracy case against the ex-official who investigated and prosecuted Donald Trump. Two sources with the knowledge has told Axios. The investigation has produced more than 130 subpoenas since cranking up last year. The officials, including James Comey, have all decried the investigation as political persecution and lawfare. The Comey subpoena issued last week relates to his alleged role in the drafting of a January 2017 intelligence community assessment concerning Russia's electronic interference that favored Trump. The assessment referenced the now widely discredited Steele dossier, whose inclusion ran counter to the fundamental trajectory principles and untimely undermines the credibility of a key judgment, according to a Tradecraft review completed in June under Trump's current CIA director, John Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe then referred Comey and former CIA director John Brennan for prosecution. U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon, a Trump nominee who threw out the federal prosecution against him in his classified documents case, impined the grand jury in the Southern District of Florida. Okay, so they're going after James Comey again. There you go. So, J.D. Vance is now supposedly going after fraud and holding people responsible for that. At least that's his new stance. A lot of people are saying they now don't want J.D. Vance. They want Marco Rubio to take over for whatever the fuck this is after Donald Trump leaves office. What are your thoughts on that, or who do you think should be in the Republican leadership? Trump struggles to distance himself from Israel, and they're trying to stop the White House ballroom from being built. Good luck. Oh my God, honey. You know what? It is now being reported that Denmark was ready to blow up their runways in case America came to take it over. Holy fuck. So Denmark was fucking about it. That's funny. And Donald Trump will face impeachments, lawsuits, and maybe even a trial by the Hague if Democrats take over, according to several magazines. The News Public, there will be no post-presidential peace for Donald Trump, and they're saying that Trump and his allies will face impeachment and lawsuits as soon as he loses in the midterm elections. So Donald Trump spent the first year of his second term trying to signal his strength and impunity and his permanence in American public life. White House Republicans gathered at the Kennedy Center in early January for a political summit. He struck a much more vulnerable tone. I don't like how this is written. They're basically saying after they lose the midterm elections in November that Democrats are going to be impeaching Donald Trump, all of his allies, and then basically trying to pull him out of public life and then putting up lawsuits against him that'll drag on well after he's out of office. I basically agree with that What are your thoughts? Slow news day, apparently. Am I right? Jeff Bezos is now raising $100 billion to automate all manufacturing. So there goes your fucking jobs. See you later. That's fantastic. That's great. What a pile of shit. A third of TSA officers called off at 3 of America's major airports. One in Atlanta, one in New Orleans, and another one at a place in Texas, Houston. Thank you. Surprise, surprise. Bazing. Smile for me. I love you. La 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 la. What else do we have here? China will not invade Taiwan now, says the United States. So we don't have to do that. Yeah, Trump's going to lose the midterm elections. Now, and ABC cancels The Bachelorette. Chuck Norris is hospitalized in Hawaii after a medical emergency. He punched something too hard, is what it is. I miss the fucking Chuck Norris jokes. Those are good. I am fucked up. Holy shit, are you? Oh my God. Anyway, Iran claims that it shot down an F-35. That's just moments ago. So there's a video of that. I'll put that up on TikTok and then here at YouTube later on tonight. That's fucked up. So Zelensky issues a new deadline and demand for weapons from the EU. And Lebanon braces for an onslaught. And the World Health Organization warns of worst case scenario with nuclear going off, as some nations are saying that they're poised or could use nuclear weapons. My whole thing is, why won't it go back to the way it used to be? Is everybody pissed off about this? The news is weak. Let's see what's going on in Iran. Because the government here has been censoring a lot of that, just so you know. Yep, so the U.S. empire is in decline. Here is an image of an F-35 being downed by Iranian missiles. I don't know if that's true. Here's a video of a cluster bomb being used. I'm not going to show this because it has dead bodies. Cluster munitions struck a beauty salon in Hebron in the West Bank and killed 4 Palestinian women. So Iranian missiles killed Palestinians. Good job. Jesus Christ. I have to sneeze. Iran executed a 19-year-old today in the city of Qom. Oh, shit. Fuck. 19-year-old Selah Mohammed, wrestling champion, was hung in the city of Qom, along with 2 other young men, on charges related to protesting. Here's an image of his dead body hanging from a crane. So he was executed with a great deal of other people as the United States continues to bomb. Thank you, Iran. Smoke is being seen. Where the fuck is this? In Iran, as new attacks 2 hours ago going on. And Iran preparing to enter Israel by land with 1 million soldiers. A mobilization. Oh, what? So according to a Greek newspaper, Iran is preparing to enter Israel by land with 1 million soldiers. A mobilization order was issued nationwide. Russia and China have announced their support for Iran. Okay, let's see here. Impossible for Iran to conduct ground operations. They would have to pass through Iraq, Syria, or Jordan, or Saudi Arabia. It's simply not possible in any good way. So I don't know if I believe that or not. And a lot of people are calling bullshit on that. So what do you think? Iran is basically we're still blowing up a lot of the oil infrastructure back and forth. Now it looks like an energy destruction. Oh my God. Iran attacked Israel, Mossad headquarters, military camp, oil tankers, and bunkers for key meetings were hit. Reports indicate 1,100 killed, 2,000 soldiers injured. Iran is ready for any land adventure by U.S. or Israel. I don't believe that shit either. I do not believe that shit either. I do see the fireball, but then you have to run it through an AI. So then, hey, Grok, is this real? This video is an AI generated or edited shaky cam, blurry footage, no verified reports. This is considered false. So you see, you have to take these videos because the fake AI shit. That's why I don't show the footage, because a lot of it on Twitter right now is so fucking fake. Like you can't even, it is so ridiculous. Half of this shit, more than half of this shit is AI generated. So there's a lot of it that I want to put here and on Twitter, or on TikTok, I'm sorry. But since I can't verify any of it, like this right here, this is clearly AI generated. It's ridiculous. So I won't talk about that because Jesus Christ, I can't even verify it. I did know that there's a lot of oil facilities. Alaska Airlines and FedEx cargo plane, an alarmingly close call as air audio traffic reveals last-minute call that averted the disaster. I will put that on TikTok. What do you think, honey? Now, in other American news, the wife of Zohran Mamdani goes into damage control after she said the N-word and homophobic and pro-Palestinian terrorist posts. So Zohran Mamdani's wife used the N-word and made fun of gay people. Huh. Her account, which has over 2 million followers, remains active. Used vile racial slurs in a tweet to a friend at the age of 15. Get the fuck out of here. Really? Everybody said a racial slur at fucking 18. And she didn't even say it. She said, hell yeah, N-word, like a white person. Super genius, excuse you. So, okay, I don't like Zohran Mamdani either, but that's horse shit. Stop coming after people what they did when they were 15. That's dumb as fuck. I mean, am I right? I don't even like those people, but still. Oh. Hey, honey. Guess what? Venomous flying spiders the size of a human hand are starting to spread. Venomous flying spiders the size of a human hand are spreading across the United States. Also, bank HSBC will be laying off 20,000 people as AI comes to take over your jobs there. Yeah, sorry about that. This year and next year are the year of the major layoffs, and you're going to see that, and I'm very sorry. Also, 20-year-old Alabama student James Gracie is found dead 2 days after vanishing in Barcelona, I believe in the water. And heartbreak as a 5-year-old baby girl is mauled to death by the family's pet dog. Holy fucking shit. Keith Urban is in public, putting on a smile after his prude bitch of a wife left him. If he cheated on her, I guess, never mind. Then he doesn't smile. TSA agents are selling their blood to make payments. Yeah. And that's that's the news. Outrage. Oh, and in Morocco, they're going to murder up to 3 million dogs. As global health disaster warning saying that this will cost lives. as Morocco is being scathed for murdering, or will be, or in the process of murdering 3 million dogs that are strays because they want it clean for the World Cup. They don't want to. I would rather have the dogs running around and you hiring people to clean their shit up. I would rather have that than, I'm serious, I would rather you hire 5,000 men to walk around and clean up the dog shit and allow the dogs to walk around as a fun thing than you fucking killing the 3 million dogs like a bunch of fuckbags. Or round them up and give them away to people that want a puppy. But that's bullshit. And I don't understand what the fuck it is. I would boycott fucking the World Cup. That's ridiculous. So, a country can be judged on how you treat your elderly and your animals. And if you can't do that, then Morocco, then fuck Morocco. I don't even want to visit your country even anymore, although I always wanted to go there. But nevertheless, stop killing dogs. Fuck yourself. Same with other nations that are eating dogs. I'm not a big fan of people eating horses either. I'm just saying. What the fuck is that noise?
I think it's a fart car.
It's a fart car. By the way, I want to know something, and I've talked about this a lot. Why do you louden your cars? Wouldn't you rather be inconspicuous than driving and it going the whole fucking way? I mean, that sucks. Why do you louden your vehicles? I think it makes it sound like you have crumblies in the fucking engine. Or it's got fucking diarrhea. Explosive ass diarrhea. You have explosive ass diarrhea car. Sorry, don't know what to tell you. That's what it is. The Ayatollah, the head of Iran, the new head of Iran has not been seen. Although he issues an ominous message, all blood has its price because he's dead. I'm assuming. Netanyahu confirms Israel acted alone in attack on Iran's South gas fields. Japan is stepping up to the plate on Iran. Unlike NATO, says Donald Trump. As Donald Trump, did you hear what he said today? Did you guys hear what he said to the Japanese Prime Minister? He said, why didn't I let Iran know? He said, because why would you let your enemies know? He's like, look at Japan. Japan's the master at not letting someone know about Pearl Harbor. He's like, sneaky. That's what he said to her. He's like, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this guy is the most unhinged fucking guy I've ever seen in my life. What a fantastic move. I thought that was hilarious. So, yeah, this dude, he does not give a fuck, does he? Donald Trump does not give a fuck, does he? Oh my God. He was like, yeah, you want to talk about sneaky? Look at the Japanese during World War II. Fuck's sakes. Yeah, don't you think, Prime Minister? What's your name? Who Flung Poo? The fuck? He reminds me of a guy from Boston. Like at the bar. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you go and there's that guy and he's been drinking all day with you. And he calls the bartender a fuck face 3 or 4 times. Oh, the spiders. Sorry about that. Yeah, I should probably get into that. The spiders. Un momento, por favor. The spiders, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. A terrifying species of spider that once plagued the Northeast United States is making a return. And the new infestation is spreading deeper into the country than ever before. A bright yellow Joro spider, which originated from Japan, China, Korea, and Taiwan and other parts of Asia, has seen its population spike since they last plagued the United States in 2024. I need a terrific haircut. Experts caution that these venomous Arcturus spiders are poised to spread across the United States thanks to a process called ballooning, where they will form salt-like trails of silk that lift them off the ground and fly effortlessly through the air. So, what this is saying is that you have a spider from East Asia that made its way here in the United States that uses a slight silk web to form a bubble around itself that gets flown through the air like a dandelion, but it's a giant fucking spider. So you're going to have spider balls flying at you on top of God other fucking things. And everybody worries about Australia. Like, everybody's like, oh, I don't want to go to Australia. I don't want to go to Australia. I might get bitten by a snake or bit by a spider. I'm like, really? I'm like, we have spiders that float through the air in bubble balls. We have rattlesnakes every 30 feet if you go west of the Mississippi River. And we have fucking mountain lions and bears and fucking... We got a bunch of wicked-ass shit here. There's all kinds of bad jellyfish. Yeah, I love Australia. It's my favorite country. I don't know politically, but... The spiders have been seen in Georgia, Tennessee, the Carolinas, California, Virginia, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. Typically in the fall when they reach their full size between August and October. Yes. No, they're not harmful, just I don't want a spider ball landing on my face. That's basically where this is right now. Female JoJo spiders have a bright yellow body with a blue strip and red markings, making them hard to miss. Males can be spotted by their more brownish color and smaller size. The females also build large golden webs to capture their prey, and these are increasingly common in the population swells. Moreover, the females tend to grow much larger than the males, sometimes growing as large as a human hand. No. They also occasionally eat their male counterparts. Fuck. That's fun. Yeah, that looks like an Australian spider to me. So I don't know what the fuck the difference is at this point. If you live on or near a city, you might see more JoJo spiders as they're tolerant of urban environments, including busy roads, vibrations, noises, and crowded structures, in comparison to many spider varieties native to the United States. The University of Georgia's Odum School of Ecology experimented with tuning forks that simulated road vibrations, finding the spiders were relatively unaffected by noise that would affect other arachnids. Andy Davis from the University of Georgia said in a statement, these JoJo webs are everywhere in the fall, including right next to busy roads, and the spiders seem to be able to make a living there. For some reason, they liked urban environments. So that means the spiders are city folk, is what that is. No, I don't kill spiders. I grab them in cups and I take them outside, is what I do. Surprisingly, they'll fucking be nice and they'll listen to you. They know English, apparently. Or at least a vibrational pattern that they know what I'm talking about. So do a great deal of other animals. It's real fucked up, but it's true. I don't know exactly how it works, but I'm sure somewhere in there is some type of translation device that could be created if we really put our fucking minds to it. But we're too busy dicking off in war. Yes, sir. Oh, my God, honey. What do we do? I need to make more archaeology videos. This politics thing sucks. Anyway, so that's what that is. And the news is we're waiting with bated breath with Iran. We're technically at war with these people, so remember that. It is still an absolute shit show and a nightmare. And we have a lot of splaining to do, Lucy. but we'll eventually win. Excuse me. And the biggest news of the day is a bunch of shit being blown up and the Bachelorette being canceled. So, oh, there is a farm bill. I need to do a live stream on this, and I may do this and call it the pesticide live stream or whatever the fuck it is. Coming up here, the farm bill, you need to not pass that because it has a liability shield for pesticide companies in the farm bill, saying that people that are sick from pesticides can't sue the pesticide companies. So you need to call your congressman or senator. That's also going to the Supreme Court in April. And when that goes to the Supreme Court, it will basically say that pesticide companies, you won't be able to sue them no matter what they do, even if their products cause neurological disease or cancer or whatever it is. No fucking harm or foul. The pesticide companies are willing to settle for $7 billion or something like that, but they're also not claiming any liability. So you have to get that to stop. The Supreme Court is poised to accept Bayer Monsanto's proposal that they can never be sued. And also Donald Trump and the Trump administration have signed a bill, or signed I can't remember exactly the name of it, that basically affirms their support for the pesticide companies. What this will do is make your amount of pesticides in your food and water and all products up considerably. And what that'll do is if you have any sicknesses, neurological sicknesses, cancer, disease, whatever it is, that comes from pesticide companies, you won't be able to sue them. It makes them not liable. Also, they don't have to put warning labels telling you that it's toxic. And also, if new science comes out saying it's toxic, they don't have to listen to that because only the EPA. Yeah, that is what they're doing. And a lot of the people from Monsanto are in the EPA, and it's ridiculous fucking nonsense. So that's one thing I can't believe Donald Trump is actually backing, why you would want to allow more pesticides in your food and also not be able to fucking even talk about it. In Florida, they're actually passing a bill that makes it so that disparaging the pesticide companies is you can go to jail or go to be brought up to court for that. So if you say these pesticide companies are causing cancer, blah, 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 in Florida, if it passes all the way, even saying that will be a suable offense. That's how fucking deranged this is. In Kansas, they were passing a bill to take food dyes out of school foods and lunches, but they tacked on a pesticide immunity clause so that you can't sue for pesticide damage. We'll take the dyes out of the food and the titanium dioxide, but you can't sue the pesticide companies. Sponsored by Bayer Monsanto. Every single one of them is. Bayer Monsanto is the devil. They also sue people, so if they make a product, a crop, and it blows over to your field, they sue you and take your property for copyright. And it's like, well, your shit blew onto my field. Well, it's there, so I sue, sorry. And then they get away with it. The lobbyists are deep. The pesticide companies are some of the worst, right? Pesticide companies can suck a dick. That's all there is to it. Terrible. They want to be able, God made hell, God said no hate in heaven and no love in hell. That's very true. That's awesome. So, I don't know why Trump backed that. It's fucking ridiculous nonsense. Well, it's good business. Well, I don't think it's really good business if people can get fucking, killed. That's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what the fuck you're doing here. But that's what we're doing here, apparently. I don't understand why that could happen. But, yeah, that's happening. So, anyway, that's what we're doing here. That's basically the news of the day. Sorry it wasn't huge. It was okay, but it wasn't fucking huge. And that's okay because, that's okay. And I don't know, that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Waiting on a bunch of shit to happen. Iran is I don't know exactly what to make of it. Everybody in this nation should be kind of burned out by the political theater. I know a lot of you are. I know I am. You can tell I am. You can tell everybody is. It is a nonstop roller coaster of ridiculous fucking stupid bullshit that always seems to fucking have some type of fight in it. And the fighting raises your cortisol levels. And I'm going to level with you. And don't forget to subscribe. All as I wanted to do was go on social media and be able to make enough money to buy a house and then just fuck off and never be seen again. I mean, really, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, make, $300,000 to buy a house and then fucking, another $200,000 to have, 100 grand to live off of, the other 100 grand for investments, and just do the 100 grand in investments with the house, not necessarily on a beach somewhere within a mile or two. It doesn't have to be that fancy. Maybe some land. That's it. If anybody out there has some land they want to get rid of, anybody has $1,000 laying around, you want a Cash App or Venmo, there it is. Why? Because why not? Why not fucking ask, right? Maybe Elon Musk is watching. But that's what it is. And why is it? I like America, but I also am sick of this shit. I'm sick of this rat race. It's nearly impossible. Don't you want to go explore the world? Go to beaches and jungles and fucking deserts and mountains and waterfalls and cute little fuzzy critters running around eating carrots and shit and seeing all that, driving around just to do the things you want to do and sing the songs you want to sing. You know what I mean? That type of shit. Don't you want to see that? And it's like, well, life has to be stressful. It doesn't. It's made that way. And even the life we used to live, it wasn't that stressful, but now it's very financially stressful. And it is for most people. It's not just me. It's 75% of America. All of you are, most of you are. And if you're not in America, most of you are also struggling financially. It's a hand-to-mouth type of living. You have more luxuries than the primitive cultures that used to live before you, absolutely. But those necessities are a necessity. A computer, a vehicle, some type of conveyance method. You know what I'm saying? Clothing. You can't walk around in a loincloth. It's the year 2026. So you have to have certain things. Well, no, that's just selfish. No, you actually have to wear pants now. You have to wear a shirt. You have to do it. It's a stringent society that people don't understand. They believe it's very easy because they've been trained for a fucking repetitious lifestyle. But a repetitious lifestyle is not what people want. A cyclical lifestyle, that's boring shit. You used to have a cyclical lifestyle, but you also had linear pattern goals, meaning that while you went to work every day, work, eat, sleep, blah, 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 every single day, you also had a linear pattern where all those times you were working, you were building up to a trip to Hawaii. And then you got there and you took time off work. You took 2 weeks. You went to Hawaii. When was the last time you could take a vacation for 2 fucking weeks? Yes, they are, free thinker. When was the last time you could take 2 weeks off to go on vacation? If you take a vacation, you're lucky if you can get 4 days somewhere. And that's real, no matter where it's at. Even if you go to Europe, you might be able to get 5 or 6. But a 2-week vacation at this point would be the equivalent nearly of a fucking vehicle. So you say, well, what happened? What the fuck happened? How could it get like this? Because you have a mix of political ineptitude and greed from the billionaires that want to rake you over the coals financially. That's really what it is. Yeah, you can't take time away. If you take time away, you die. The only way to get out of it is to start another form of finance and money making in another country and transition. But you say, well, I don't want to leave America. I like this country. That's correct. Is America worth fighting for? There was a time, and I'll be done here in a minute. There was a time when, as an American, you would go to other places in the world and you would be in, Italy, or you'd be in Poland, or you'd be in Germany or France, you'd be in Japan, you'd be in China, you'd be in Thailand or Philippines, Malaysia, and whatever. And oh, you're American. Oh, hey, like there was a mode of American, like an inflection. Oh, you're American. Now it's American. It's like this flat, I don't really want to know you, even if you're a good person, because of who you are, where you're from. Well, why is that? Well, because there's a weird world order fight that's going on right now. And everybody thinks it's like the right versus the left. There's actually like there's like the rich and the poor. There's the right and the left. And then there's an economic form of that. And then there's like power versus peace and all these other different poles that are going on here. And it's just a major world of conflict. And it's mostly spiritual and internal conflict. There's a lot of fucking manipulation going on purpose by all governments and all sides. You don't know what to think. Trump is the devil. The Democrats are the devil. Maybe they're both the devil. Who fucking knows? But what it is you don't have to live like that. You simply don't. You can, but it's very stressful. My blood pressure is already too high to be involved in going anymore. But the problem is that the world likes sensationalism. And they want to see people like me yell and scream and form huge conflict. And I want to, because I hate traffic and all this other bullshit. But, like, how do you, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know where to go in the world right now. Kind of just spinning in a circle. You know what I mean? And so I want to have more oomph in my content again. But I don't feel the oomph anymore. And I want to have the oomph back. I want to be like, yeah, there it is. But I don't have a lot of stuff. Like, everything Trump is doing was planned and it was known. Some of it is very extreme in some cases. Some people will say, well, I didn't expect all this. Lower your blood pressure. Magnesium glyphosate is very nice. Well, I am taking a form of magnesium, so I'll have to show you, but I need to do something. I think the breathing has a lot to do with it. Anyway, so that's that. So, by the way, if you're here, please subscribe. Definitely need you to subscribe because that's what it is. Whatever. Check out my other videos on here. I'll put a lot up. I have a lot of shorts, but you have to contact YouTube and tell them, please show me, because everybody's fucking sick of them not doing the notifications. I don't know how to contact YouTube. I know there's a help thing. But if you could do that, that would be awesome. And you would be awesome. But anyway, follow me on TikTok. Sup America 2 and Sup America. One has 67,000 or something, 63,000, whatever. And one's got 87,000 followers there. And follow me here. I've got 19,000 subscribers, give or take. Go take a shave. Yeah, no shit, I am. And that's what that is. So follow me here. All that. Follow me in other places. Follow me on X, Sup America. Social media is kind of at the end of its rope, in my opinion. So anyway, don't forget to subscribe, share, like, hit the notification button. Do you like me, block me, and go fuck yourself. And I'll see you tomorrow.